So buffer attribute of a page tag. When to use, how to use. Look, generally Solid sends the response. JSP sends the response to the client, means the browser window. So if I generate 1 KB of response, directly I cannot send. I need to keep in buffer. First KB, second KB, third KB, and at last I'll send all at once. Right? For that purpose, we need to prepare a buffer. We need to prepare a buffer. So every JSP page contains itself one own buffer, and that buffer is responsible for preserving some previous lines or remaining lines of code or the responses to be sent to the browser window. Okay, so for that purpose, I can use buffer. Whether you want to enable buffer or not to enable buffer, it is up to programmer hand. So let me add the point. Every JSP page contains one buffer to preserve or save the remaining lines of output, remaining or last lines of output until the output of last lines got generated or won't get generated. So using buffer attribute, we can specify initial size of particular page buffer of a particular page buffer, and default size for the buffer is already we have seen 8 KB. How much? Just open the previous pages, you will find the 8 KB, right? So using buffer attributes, we can specify the initial size of a particular page buffer. Okay, and default is how much? Default is 8 KB. Default is 8 KB. So how do I want to create the buffer? Create the page directory tag @page page buffer. Mention the size. How much you want. I want 10 KB. Instead of 8, you can create 10 KB, 15 KB, 20 KB as per your requirement. In this way, you can able to create the buffer. So JSP program increases the buffer size dynamically if needed. So let me add this buffer size here, where in my page directory tag, not here. Okay, fine. Save. Just refresh your page. These things will be taken care by server automatically. It's not in my hand. So you won't find JSP and solid any changes. Can you find anywhere 10 KB? See, where do we find? It is not my responsibility. This will be taken care by server. Control Shift W. ठीक है? Buffer. And which buffer is it? Output buffer, na? Okay. JSPX underscore out is equal to out. Out is not equal to null. Out dot get buffer size. Buffer size should not be equal to null. Then only I'll be flushing the server is flushing the output to the browser window. Right? Right or wrong? At least it is proved here. Then clear the buffer. auto flush. Auto flush, one more attribute available in JSP page directory, that is auto flush. If you set auto flush true, this will go all the outputs which is present, all this data which is present in the buffer, that will flush the browser window once, all at once. ठीक है, this is the buffer only. ठीक है, let me add the next point.